Okay, so the saga continues with this little bike. Yeah, so I emptied the fuel by draining it out of the carburetor, got some water out of there, and then petrol started coming through. So it started, went back to it the following day, wouldn't start again. So I went back, opened the carburetor, and more water had separated from the petrol, and then I couldn't get it going again. So I think the best thing to do now is whip the tank off, get it drained, get all the contaminants out of there, new fuel filter. I'm going to change the oil on it as well, give it a full service, some fresh go-go juice in there, and then see how we get on. I just stopped to have something to eat, and now I'm back in the garage. Now this little bike that my lad brought home, it's really quite easy to work on, and I've had a look on their site as well. It's a bike that I'd never heard of before. M2R, made to race I think it's called. I'm not happy that he's brought the bike home, but now that it's here, we're kind of stuck with it. It's not running, as we've already established. So yeah, I've whipped the plastic paneling off, about to whip the tank off. It's really easy to work on. It's really quite fun to work on actually, and a really good starter bike if you were starting out on it, if you're into that kind of thing. So yeah, this is what we've done. So taking the plastic trim off here, there was like 3 10mm bolts, same on the other side. Whip them off. They're over there in the corner, being propped up by my bike. I've had the seat off. It's one 13mm bolt from underneath, there like that. Turns that seat comes off, and then we've got let's say 1, 2, and then 3. That's all the bolts that I can see for holding the tank on there. So we'll whip that off, get the thing upside down, draining overnight, so make sure that all the water's out of there. Then hopefully put some fresh juice in it tomorrow, and fingers crossed we'll have this badger back on the road. So she's off with the 3 bolts, just in case anybody's interested. It's so simple, very basic. So there is a little bit in there, it's stuck. Now I've got a drip tray here. Now I have had it draining into a bottle and it stopped. Okay, but then when I lifted the bike off the side stand, you could still hear something sloshing around inside. So there is going to be something in there that's stuck. Now, hence why I've taken the tank off, leave it overnight upside down, hopefully get all the remnants out of there. Because I don't want to be putting fresh fuel in there if there's still a little bit of water. So that's the plan. Let's get on with it. Still getting some out of there. Well, that's all the water out of there. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that draining overnight at an angle, and then hopefully any water in there and stale fuel will evaporate, and then we'll come back to it tomorrow. Ciao for now. So hello everyone, back in the garage once again. So it's actually a couple of days later from when we took the tank off. Literally no room to swing a cat in here with all these bikes. It's a couple of days later. So the tank's been draining behind me for a couple of days now. Hopefully, yeah, it's completely empty, and hopefully anything that was in there has had a couple of days to evaporate. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put the tank back on the bike. I've got some couple of quid's worth of go-go juice. Yeah, stick it back on the bike, see if we can get this thing going, and hopefully, fingers crossed, have some fun on it. So all I'm going to do is get the tank fitted and charge it with a little bit of petrol to see if we can get it going first before putting everything back together. I was hoping to get a new fuel filter, but I thought I'd get one in Euro car parts, which turns out they didn't have one. So in hindsight, what I should have done on Friday evening was just order one off eBay, and it probably would have been here this today or tomorrow. But hey ho, it's only a 2-minute job to change in the future anyway, once we get this thing going. Now, I don't know much about these bikes. Just to give you a bit of a background, I caught my lad out buying this bike behind my back, and he had planned on keeping it in his mate's house and riding it without my knowledge, basically, until I caught him out. Now we get the bike back here and it's not running properly, and turns out we had all this water in the fuel, as you know, which he swears blind he doesn't know how it's got there, and I have no idea how it got there. Now I think it's been put in there on purpose, to be honest with you, because the amount of water that I have taken out of the tank, when you think there's no way of it getting in there in the first place, I reckon somebody's done it on purpose. Right, so that's back on. Yeah, so if any of you guys have got one of these bikes, drop it down in the comments. What are they like? Because I'd never heard of this brand up until the lad brought this bike home. Well, he didn't bring it home. He got caught. So it turns out the video stopped recording halfway through that because my memory was full. So I've had to delete a load of videos. And anyway, enough rambling on. Let's get this door open. Let's see if she'll start. So it's all put back together eventually. As you will have seen in the video, when we got it running, it was idling okay, but it wouldn't rev. There was a little bit of water stuck in the carburetor, which we managed to get from there without having to strip it down. I didn't want to strip the carburetor down because just in case I ruined the gasket and then I'd have to wait for parts to come. But yeah, it will rev now, so we've put it back together. We ran out of daylight, so hopefully we're going to get this out at another point when it's nice, and give it a good test. But she's running. Yeah, hope you enjoyed the content. Please consider subscribing, give the video a like, leave us a comment, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one.